Hello everybody. Welcome to this series of audiobook of class 11th and 12th NCERT biology. This is chapter 16 of class 11th, which is digestion and absorption. Food is one of the basic requirements of all living organisms. The major components of our food are carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Vitamins and minerals are also required in small quantities. Food provides energy and organic materials for growth and repair of tissue. The water we take in plays an important role in metabolic processes and also prevents dehydration of the body. Biomacromolecules in food cannot be utilized by our body in the original form. They have to be broken down and converted into simple substance in the digestive system. This process of conversion of complex food substance to simple absorbable form is called digestion and is carried out by our digestive system by mechanical and biochemical methods. General organization of the human digestive system is shown in figure 16.1. 16.1 Digestive system. The human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and the associated glands. Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal begins with an anterior opening, the mouth, and it opens out posteriorly through the anus. The mouth leads to the buccal cavity or oral cavity. The oral cavity has a number of teeth and a muscular tongue. Each tongue is embedded in a socket of jaw. This type of attachment is called thecodont. Majority of mammals, including human being, forms two sets of teeth during their life. A set of temporary milk or deciduous teeth replaced by a set of permanent or adult teeth. This type of dentition is called diphodont. An adult human has 32 permanent teeth which are of four different types. Heterodont dentition, namely incisors, canine, premolar and molars. Arrangement of the teeth in each half of the upper lower jaw in the order I, C, P, M is represented by dental formula which in human is 2123 upon 2123. The hard chewing surface of the teeth made up of enamel help in the mastication of food. The tongue is a freely movable muscular organ attached to the floor of the oral cavity by the frenulum. The upper surface of the tongue has small projections called papillae, some of which bear taste buds. The oral cavity leads into a short pharynx which serves as a common passage for food and air. The oesophagus and the trachea windpipe open into the pharynx. A cartilaginous flap called epiglottis prevents the entry of food into the glottis. Opening of the windpipe during swallowing. The oesophagus is a thin, long tube which extends posteriorly passing through the neck, thorax and diaphragm and leads to a J-shaped bag-like structure called stomach. A muscular sphincter, gastroesophageal, regulates the opening of oesophagus into the stomach. The stomach, located in the upper left portion of the abdominal cavity, has four major parts. A cardiac portion into which the oesophagus opens, a fundic region, body, main central division, and a pyloric portion which opens into the first part of small intestine. Small intestine is distinguishable into three regions: a C-shaped duodenum, a long coiled middle portion jejunum, and a highly coiled ileum. The opening of the stomach into the duodenum is guarded by the pyloric sphincter. Ileum opens into the large intestine. It consists of caecum, colon, and rectum. Caecum is a small blind sac which hosts some symbolic microorganisms. A narrow finger-like tubular projection, the vermiform appendix, which is a vestigial organ, arises from the caecum. The caecum opens into colon. The colon is divided into four parts: an ascending, a transverse, descending part and the sigmoid colon. The descending part open into the rectum, which opens out through the anus. The wall of alimentary canal from oesophagus to rectum possesses 4 layers, namely serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. Serosa is the outermost layer and is made up of thin mesothelium, epithelium of visceral organs with some connective tissue. Muscularis is formed by smooth muscles usually arranged into an inner circular and an outer longitudinal layer. An oblique muscle layer may be present in some regions. The submucosal layer is formed of connective tissue, connective nerves, blood and lymph vessels. In duodenum, glands are also present in some mucosa. The innermost layer lining the lumen of the alimentary canal is the mucosa. This layer forms irregular folds, rugae, in the stomach and small finger-like foldings called villi in the small intestine. The cell lining the villi produce numerous microscopic projections called microvilli, giving a brush border appearance. These modifications increase the surface area enormously. Villi are supplied with a network of capillaries and a large lymph vessels called the lacteal. Mucosal epithelium has goblet cell which secrete mucus that help in lubrication. Mucosa also forms glands in the stomach, gastric glands and crypts in between the base of villi in the intestine, crypts of Levenkin. All the 4 layers show modification in different part of the alimentary canal. Digestive glands. The digestive glands associated with the alimentary canal including the salivary gland, the liver and the pancreas. Saliva is mainly produced by 3 pairs of salivary glands, the parotid chick, the submaxillary submandibular lower jaw and the sublingual below the tongue. These glands situated just outside the buccal cavity secrete salivary juice into the buccal cavity. Liver is the largest gland of the body, weighted about 1.2 to 1.5 in an adult human. It is situated in the abdominal cavity just below the diaphragm and has 2 lobes. The hepatic lobule are the structural and functional unit of liver containing hepatic cells arranged in the form of cords. Each lobule is covered by a thin connective tissue sheet called the Glison's capsule. The bile secreted by the hepatic cell passes through the hepatic ducts and is stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac called the gallbladder. The duct of gallbladder, cystic duct, along with the hepatic duct form the common bile duct. The bile duct and the pancreatic duct open together into the duodenum as the common hepatopancreatic duct, which is guarded by a sphincter called the sphincter of Oddi. The pancreas is a compound, both exocrine and endocrine elongated organ situated between the limbs of the C-shaped duodenum. The exocrine portion secretes an alkaline pancreatic juice containing enzymes and the endocrine portion secrete hormones, insulin and glucagon. Digestion of food. The process of digestion is accomplished by mechanical and chemical processes. The buccal cavity performs 2 major functions: mastication of food and facilitation of swallowing. The teeth and the tongue, with the help of saliva, masticate and mix up the food thoroughly. Mucus in saliva help in lubrication and adhering the mastication food particle into a bolus. The bolus is conveyed into the pharynx and then into oesophagus by swallowing or deglutition. The bolus further passes down through the oesophagus by successive waves of muscular contraction called peristalsis. The gastroesophageal sphincter controls the passage of food into the stomach. The saliva secreted into the oral cavity contains electrolytes and enzymes, salivary amylase and lysozymes. The chemical process of digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by the hydrolytic action of the carbohydrate splitting enzyme the salivary amylase. About 30% of the starch is hydrolyzed here by this enzyme, optimum pH 6.8, into a disaccharide maltose. Lysozyme present in saliva acts as an antibacterial agent that prevents infection. The mucosa of stomach has gastric glands. Gastric glands has three major type of cell, namely mucous neck cell which secrete mucus. Second, peptic or chief cells which secrete the proenzyme pepsinogen. And third, parietal or oxyntic cell which secrete HCl and intrinsic factor essential for absorption of B12. The stomach stored the food for 4 to 5 hours. The food mixes thoroughly with the acidic gastric juice of the stomach by the churning movements of its muscular wall and is called the chyme. The proenzyme pepsinogen on exposure to hydrochloric acid gets converted into the active enzyme pepsin, the prolytic enzyme of the stomach. Pepsin converts protein into proteoses and peptides. The mucus and bicarbonates present in the gastric juice play an important role in lubrication and protection of the mucosal epithelium from exfoliation by the highly concentrated hydrochloric acid. HCl provides the acidic pH 1.8, optimal for pepsin. Rennin is a prolytic enzyme found in the gastric juice of infants which help in the digestion of milk proteins. A small amount of lipase are also secreted by gastric glands. Various types of movement are generated by the muscularis layer of the small intestine. These movements help in a thorough mixing up of the food with various secretion in the intestine and thereby facilitate digestion. The bile, pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice are the secretion released into the small intestine. Pancreatic juice and bile are released through the hepatopancreatic duct. The pancreatic juice contain inactive enzymes trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase, amylase, lipase and nucleases. Trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme enterokinase secreted by the intestinal mucosa into active trypsin, which in turn activates the other enzyme in the pancreatic juice. The bile released into the duodenum contains bile pigments, bilirubin and biliverdin, bile salts, cholesterol and phospholipids, but no enzymes. Bile help in emulsification of fat, that is breaking down of the fats into very small micelles. Bile also activates lipase. The intestinal mucosal epithelium has goblet cells which secrete mucus. The secretion of the brush border cell of the mucus along with the secretion of goblet cell constitute the intestinal juice or succus entericus. The juice contain a variety of enzymes like disaccharides, example maltase, dipeptidase, lipase, nucleosidase, etc. The mucus along with the bicarbonates form the pancreatic protects the intestinal mucosa from acid as well as provide an alkaline medium pH 7.8 for enzymatic activities. Some mucosal glands, Bernard's glands, also help in this. Protein, protease and peptones, partially hydrolyzed protein in the chyme reaching the intestine are acted upon the prolytic enzyme pancreatic juice as given below. Proteins, peptones, proteoses, trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase gives dipeptides. Carbohydrates in the chyme are hydrolyzed by pancreatic amylase into disaccharide. Polysaccharide starch amylase gives disaccharide. Fats are broken down by lipase with the help of bile into di and monoglycerides. Fats, lipase, diglycerides, monoglycerides. Nucleases in the pancreatic juice acts on nucleic acid to form nucleotides and nucleosides. Nucleic acid, nucleases, nucleotides, nucleosides. The enzyme in the succus entericus acts on the end product of the above reaction to form the respective simple absorbable forms. These final steps in digestion occur very close to the mucosal epithelium cell of the intestine. Dipeptides. Dipeptides amino acid. Maltose, maltase, glucose plus glucose. Lactose, lactase, glucose plus galactose. Sucrose, sucrase, glucose plus fructose. Nucleotides, nucleotidase, nucleosides, nucleosidase, sugar plus bases. Di and monoglycerides, lipases, fatty acid plus glycerol. The breakdown of biomacromolecules mentioned above occur in the duodenum region of the small intestine. The simple substance thus formed are absorbed in jejunum and ileum regions of the small intestine. The undigested and unabsorbed substances are passed on the large intestine. No significant digestive activity occurs in the large intestine. The function of the large intestine are: first, absorption of some water, minerals and certain drugs. Second, secretion of mucus which help in adhering the waste undigested particles together and lubricating it, form an easy passage. The undigested unabsorbed substance called feces enters into the caecum of the large intestine through ileocecal valve, which prevents the backflow of the fecal matter. It is temporarily stored in the rectum till defecation. The activities of the gastrointestinal tract are upper neural and hormonal control for proper coordination of different parts. The sight, smell and or the presence of food in the oral cavity can stimulate the secretion of saliva. Gastric and intestinal secretion are also similarly simulated by neural signals. The muscular activities of different parts of the alimentary canal can also be moderated by neural mechanisms, both local and through CNS. Hormonal control of the secretion of digestive juice is carried out by local hormones produced by the gastric and intestinal mucosa. Absorption of digested products. Absorption is the process by which the end product of digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into the blood or lymph. It is carried out by passive, active or facilitated transport mechanisms. A small amount of monosaccharide like glucose, amino acid and some electrolytes like chloride ions are generally absorbed by simple diffusion. The passage of the substance into the blood depends upon the concentration gradients. However, some substances like glucose and amino acids are absorbed with the help of carrier protein. The mechanism is called the facilitated transport. Transport of water depends upon the osmotic gradient. Active transport occurs against the concentration gradient and hence requires energy. Various nutrients like amino acid, monosaccharides like glucose, electrolytes like Na+ are absorbed into the blood by this mechanism. Fatty acids and glycerol, being insoluble, cannot be absorbed into the blood. They are first incorporated into small droplets called micelles, which move into the intestinal mucosa. They are reformed into very small protein coated fat globules called chylomicrons, which are transported into the lymph vessel ductils in the villi. The lymph vessels ultimately release the absorbed substance into the bloodstream. Absorption of substance take place in the different part of the alimentary canal like mouth, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. However, maximum absorption occur in the small intestine. A summary of absorption, site of absorption and substance absorption is given. The summary of absorption in different part of digestive system. Table 16.1. Mouth. Certain drugs coming in contact with the mucosa of mouth and lower side of the tongue are absorbed into the blood capillaries lining them. Stomach. Absorption of water, simple sugar and alcohol etc. take place. Small intestine. Principal organ for absorption of nutrients. The digestion is completed here, and the final product of digestion such as glucose, fructose, fatty acids, glycerol and amino acid are absorbed through the mucosa into the bloodstream and lymph. Large intestine, absorption of water, some minerals and drugs take place. The absorbed substance finally reach the tissue which utilize them for their activities. This process is called assimilation. The digestive waste solidified into coherent fishes in the rectum initiate a neural reflex causing an urge to desire for its removal. The ejection of fecal to the outside through the anal opening, defecation, is a voluntary process and is carried out by a mass peristaltic movement. Disorder of digestive system. The inflammation of the intestinal tract is the most common ailment due to bacterial or viral infection. The infections are also caused by the parasites of the intestine like tapeworm, roundworm, threadworm, hookworm, pinworm, etc. Jaundice. The liver is affected. Skin and eyes turns yellow due to the deposit of bile pigment. Vomiting. It is the ejection of stomach contents through the mouth. This reflex action is controlled by the vomit center in the medulla. A feeling of nausea precedes vomiting. Diarrhea. The abnormal frequency of bowel movement and increased liquidity of the fecal discharge is known as diarrhea. It reduces the absorption of food. Constipation. In constipation, the feces are retained with the colon as the bowel movements occurs irregularly. Indigestion. In the condition, the food is not properly digested, leading to a feeling of fullness. The cause of indigestion are inadequate enzyme secretion, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating, and spicy food. PEM, dietary deficiency of protein and total food calories are widespread in mainly underdeveloped countries of South and Southeast Asia, South America and West and Central Africa. Protein energy malnutrition PEM may affect the large section of the population during drought, famine and political turmoil. This happened in Bangladesh during the Liberation War and in Ethiopia during this severe drought in mid-80s. PEM affects infants and children to produce marasmus and kwashiorkor. Marasmus is produced by a simultaneous deficiency of protein and calories. It is found in infants less than a year in age. If mother's milk is replaced too early by other food which are poor in both proteins and caloric value, this often happens if the mother has second pregnancy or children when the other infant is still too young. In marasmus, protein deficiency impairs growth and replacement of tissue proteins. Extreme emaciation of the body and thinning of limbs result. The skin becomes dry, thin and wrinkled. Growth rate and body weight decline considerably. Even growth and development of brain and mental faculties are impaired. Kwashiorkor is produced by protein deficiency unaccompanied by caloric deficiency. It results from the replacement of mother's milk by a high caloric, low protein diet in a child more than 1 year in age. Like marasmus, kwashiorkor show wasting of muscles, thinning of limbs, failure of growth and brain development. But unlike marasmus, some fat is still left under the skin. Moreover, extensive oedema and swelling of body parts are seen. Summary. The digestive system of human consists of an alimentary canal and associated digestive glands. The alimentary canal consists of the mouth, buccal cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. The accessory digestive glands include the salivary glands, the liver with gallbladder and the pancreas. Inside the mouth, the teeth masticate the food, the tongue tastes the food and manipulate it for proper mastication by mixing the saliva. Saliva contains a starch digestive enzyme, salivary amylase, that digests the starch and converts it into maltose disaccharide. The food then passes into the pharynx and enters the oesophagus in the form of bolus, which is further carried down through the oesophagus by peristalsis into the stomach. In stomach, mainly protein digestion take place. Absorption of simple sugar, alcohol and medicines are also take place in the stomach. The chyme food enters into the duodenum portion of the small intestine and is acted on the pancreatic juice, bile and finally by the enzymes in the succus and trachea, so that the digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fat is completed. The food that enters into the jejunum and ileum portion of the small intestine. Carbohydrates are digested and converted into monosaccharide like glucose. Proteins are finally broken down into amino acid. The fats are converted to fatty acids and glycerol. The digestion end products are absorbed into the body through the epithelial lining of the intestinal villi. The undigested food fishes enters into the caecum of the large intestine through ileocaecal wall, which prevent the backflow of the fecal matter. Most of the water is absorbed in the large intestine. The undigested food becomes semi-solid in nature and then enters into the rectum and anal canal and is finally egested out through the anus.